Hello and welcome. This is part of a series of library tutorials, and this particular tutorial is going to cover how to search for a specific journal or magazine title in our Ebsco databases. You can always do a keyword search in those databases, which you might be familiar with, but sometimes say you know what you want to look at as Scientific American, or you really want to look at National Geographic. This tutorial will show you how to do that. So your first step, of course, is to get to the library homepage. The best way to get to the library homepage is through the college homepage, which is bluecc.edu, and then you'll click on Library, and that will take you to this page. If you're on any of the Blue Mountain campuses, you will have access to these resources immediately. If you're off campus, you just simply need to have a library card number to log in. If you are a Pendleton student, the easiest thing to do is simply walk down to Morrow Hall, get a student ID card and bring it to the library, and then we'll activate your card for you. If you never come to campus, you can still get a card number, of course, and you would do that by following this How Do I link and clicking on our second tab over, Obtain Renew Your Library Account. Once you click there, you'll see if you're brand new, where you would go ahead and register, or if you had a library card in the past, but maybe it expired, there's where you'll go. Okay, back to the library homepage. So we'll go ahead and click on Library Databases. And, of course, we have a variety of databases. We have our top library databases, A through Z, by subject, but probably most of your time is going to be spent in our top library databases. In this case, we're looking at Academic Search Premier as our main database. But I've mentioned before, Ebsco has a lot of different databases. Actually, Academic Search Complete is a little bit larger of a database. My default is usually to look at that. But if you are a business student, their Business Source Complete database is fantastic. If you are, working on a health sciences field, their nursing and consumer edition of Health Source is great. CINAHL is a very high-end academic medical database. And a variety, if you're working on psychology, you can certainly limit that way as well. But for just right now, education is ERIC. I always like to point that out because I don't think you would necessarily translate education in ERIC. But right now, let's go ahead and focus on Academic Search Complete. So what you would do once you've chosen the database that you'd like for a publication search is simply to come up here to Publications. Kind of hiding, actually, hiding in plain sight. And what is also tricky is that I think most people want to click in here and start typing something in. That's a keyword search. When you want to browse here, you probably want to browse by title. So say, for example, you want Scientific American. As you can see, I have. You can go ahead and browse. And you can see, oh, there's Scientific American. And Scientific American, if you didn't know, actually has a lot of different variations. They have General Scientific American. What this is telling me right here is that we have the full text access to Scientific American all the way back to 2007 to the present, and the results would be in HTML full text. If you wanted Scientific American, the Mind edition, we have that all the way back to 2004. And so on and so on. I want to point out some of these are available with PDF. Full text, so if you're looking, and some in both. So if you're interested in scientific computing instrumentation, PDF, HTML, back to 2000. Well, let's go ahead and look at Scientific American Mind. Let's click on this guy. And how this works is that we actually do have access all the way up to the present. Once in a while, you'll see something where it says a very specific library word, embargoed, which means that we might have access to it, but our access is, like, say, from 2004 just to 2015. The publisher still wants to make money, so they don't give the library access to the most current. But in that case, we do have everything. So there's a couple different ways to use this screen. One is that you can just browse by issue. So say you want to look at the most current issue. You can certainly do that. It's usually organized by how it shows up in the magazine. So on page 2 and 3, that's what this means here. You'll see the From the Editor bits. If you want to look at their article that they had on pages 4 through 5 on animals, emotional protection, etc., etc., it just goes in alphabetical order that way. If you wanted to look and see specific, there's only 37 articles, but if you wanted to look specifically within this journal issue, you could do that as well. Often what I find most helpful, however, though, is again kind of hidden, is searching within this publication. If I know an article I want to read is published in Scientific American Mind, I'll just do that. And so what that does is automatically populates your search screen with how you would search for that journal. And this is where you would add your ands. So say you wanted to look at Scientific American Mind, and stress has been the phrase I've been using. You can go ahead and limit right away if you wanted to. If you just wanted to type in stress, leave it broad to narrow down later, you could. These should all be full text, but I'd like to do that anyway. If you know you want something from the last couple of years, again, you can certainly do that. If you wanted, again, charts, graphs, you can do that. Let's just go ahead and hit search. And so, well, we have 137 results from stress. Again, all are going to be from the Scientific American Mind. Just to show you some of these screens, you can see that, so this is the title of the article, this is the author, this is the title, Scientific American Mind, and we can see when it came from. These are right now in order of relevance. If you want the newest first, you can certainly do that. And some things that we're going to see are things from the editor. You might not be really interested in that. One thing that you can do is, show more options. And when you show more options, for example, you could limit to, just the articles if you wanted to get rid of things from the editor. If you wanted something a little bit more substantial, like you wanted it to be, greater than, a 2-page article, you could do that as well and hit search again. And that will refine our search for us. So you have some options. And now we're down to 40. So we've really narrowed down articles from Scientific and American Mind and for the subject. Similar things, if you wanted to look at, we only have 40 results. I think that's actually not that many. But if you wanted to focus on specifically on stress and some of these other specific issues within stress, you could certainly do that just by a click of the button. You might be familiar with this, but let's go ahead and show you what a title looks like. So I clicked on the title. That's taken me to the article. Again, I can see here, I can see the 6-page article from 2015. Here's a summary of the article. If I want to read the whole article right away, I would just click on HTML full text. But if I want to know a little bit more about what they're talking about, or I might think something here that I'm actually more interested in, I can see this article looks like it's talking a lot about children and children's attitudes and all those things. That could be really interesting to me because that's exactly what I want. Or I can say, you know what, I was really interested in looking at the idea of vulnerability, but I'm not really interested in child research at this point. If you find that you are, and that what you're really interested in is children's attitudes and the psychological aspects of those, you can click on that, and that'll do a couple things. One, it's going to take our search out of specifically just Scientific American Mind. It will broaden that out, and so what we have to do is go back and limit again. It's putting that onus kind of back on the researcher to limit that. We can, of course, update by year again. And if we wanted to narrow any further, we could certainly do that. So I'm going to go back to the same article just to point out the other things that you could do tool-wise. So if you wanted to, of course, print, you can do that. You can email. You can save these to a flash drive. If you need help citing, they have some great citation examples. This is the psychology subject. We would use APA. But if you're in your writing course and they asked use MLA, well, here you go. It's pretty handy. I just like pointing out this add to folder feature. You can add to folder, so if you're a researcher and you like to look at about 20 articles at once, just to store them, saying, okay, I see what I want to save it, and I'll come back to it. If you add it to a folder at this point, it's just going to save it for the duration of your session. If you actually wanted to create a forever Ebsco folder for yourself, you actually can. You would actually just come up here to sign in and create an account. And that would create an Ebsco folder for you that would be pretty much yours for pretty much forever at this point. If you find yourself working on the same topic for the next 2 years, 3 years, you go to OSU, UO, wherever you go, and you continue looking at this, you would have the same Ebsco folder. So it's kind of handy to look at that way. So, going back, we kind of got off and looked at a subject search. If you want to go back and do a publication search, you're like, okay, great, I've looked at Scientific American Mind. I really want to see what Psychology Today has to say. You would simply, again, type that in there. You can say, oh, yay, we have it. In this case, we have it back all the way to 1992, PDF, HTML. Similar thing, you would go ahead and take a look at that. Search within this publication if you want to see what they had, again, or you can browse by issue. So I think once you know the few steps and where things are hidden, it's a little bit more straightforward. But then again, Psychology Today, see what they have to say about stress. Similar things. We didn't limit anything, but you might want to limit to full text. These should all be full text anyway, because it's a full text resource. But we did our numbers to drop, so something was in full text. Again, maybe you want to go a little bit more current, a medical issue. And it took its time there. And then again, there you might be interested in looking at specific issues about stress. So that's how to search by publication. Again, kind of just a brief overview. Just making sure you pick the right database that you're interested in. You kind of do have to do one at a time, and then just knowing where the publication search is, and being aware of what happens when you click away from your original search and how to get back to it. So that's all. Of course, please always feel free to contact the library if you need some more help with your searching. I'm presenting it as it being an easy thing, but it isn't always an easy thing. So that's what we're here for, to help talk you through your ideas and get you the resources that you need.